Good evening, everyone, and welcome to October 3rd, Monday Select Board meeting. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and again, welcome, everyone. Does anybody have any additions to the agenda tonight? Board? And the chair has no remarks because we have a couple of wonderful guests that I'd like to invite up to the table, please. Linda Shippee and Melanie Zinn. Please come to the table.
Thank you.
I'm going to read this because if I don't read something scripted, I'm going to be all over the place. So, the town of Vernon is honored to have among its residents two outstanding individuals that have had a significant impact on our children in Vernon and in the surrounding towns. First of all, the Wheelden Child Care Association, Melanie Zinn, Early Education Director of last year. On the behalf of the residents of Vernon, we would like to present you with a certificate in commendation of your service, and again, thank you very, very much. This year, Wheelden Child Care Association, Linda Shippee, Childhood Educator of the Year, as the preschool teacher for the Vernon Recreation Department. We are grateful that our children have the benefit of your skills and experience. On behalf of the residents of Vernon, we present you with this shiny little apple as a reminder of our thanks and appreciation. Thank
Thank you very much, and as an employee of the town, it means a lot that my employer recognizes it, so thank you, it means a lot, thank you.
Well, you both mean a lot to our children and to the children's parents. Not one person can say enough for you, and we as the board do thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
It's nice to be recognized, yeah.
Yes.
And I'm sorry you weren't last year. I totally
no.
just that right over my head, but
It's okay.
we've been trying to come up with something new that we can do for our employees and for people that mean a lot to us. So
Well, thank you. It means a lot.
congratulations
Thank
to
you.
both of you.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
This is really good
All
stuff.
right. We're gonna stop a minute. Melanie, can you
Just
get
get
Linda
one
back?
picture before you
Oh,
run out.
yeah.
Why not the whole
not
board?
working.
I think.
Are you gonna stand behind me? Okay, he's gonna stand behind me. We'll have a chef right in town. You just can't pull on my shirt, please.
Hi, sweetie.
One, 2, 3. That's very
I'm
nice.
being knocked over into.
Hey,
Sorry, that
yes. Take one more with
You can get
Christine.
in. Go stand in there.
Me, I don't bite.
Put it right in front of me. Oh,
Put your apple on, Linda. I don't really have the only. That's okay, you can tell it's something. I'm the only one picture holding this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's right.
Pictures. All right, let's move on. JJ, Fire Warden, please come up. Deputy Warden? Let me enlighten the select board on I called JJ as I had a couple of complaints from a couple residents that tried to get a fire permit, I don't know what weekend, and they couldn't get a hold of JJ when I asked JJ about it. He was on vacation, so that was, his right to do. But apparently, I gave one person Todd's number, and Todd didn't get back to them, and I didn't even ask Todd where he was, but if you remember correctly, I had said when we did this, we need somebody that is able to answer these calls for these people. So JJ's here and Todd's here to let us know what we can do to rectify it.
Last weekend, Saturday, I was out of service area. And sometimes, I don't know why, but sometimes my phone doesn't let me know when I have a voicemail.
Yeah, no
And,
problem.
I just figured that I can explain that.
Yeah, not a problem. I will definitely do that. Go ahead, JJ.
I'm not sure how we want to proceed with this. We've talked about a couple different options. One was to add an additional person to the list.
Another deputy off.
Another deputy. I can also, after talking to the state, I can, if I go out of town, I can, for periods of time, can also ask somebody else to take care of that stuff.
You had mentioned that before, and we
Yep.
said that we weren't sure if we liked that idea.
Right. And when you came up with what was going on, I did do that, for that week.
Okay. Yeah.
I did text Todd, asked him if he'd gotten any phone calls or anything. He said he'd gotten the messages, he received one phone call, but there was no messages or anything like that. So, not knowing what was going on up there, I had gotten ahold of Jesse, to fill in while I wasn't around. And then this weekend, there was a phone call, I received, as I was just getting ready to come back from Florida, answered it, had told the gentleman, I was in Florida, so I was not gonna issue anything from down there at all, to have him get a hold of Todd. He said he had called Todd, and had left a message and had no return phone call yet. So then I got a hold of, gave him Jesse's phone number, told him to let him know that I told him to call him. And at the same time, I had texted Jesse to let him know that he was getting a phone call from the individual for a burn permit.
Was that the Hickory Hollow one?
Yes.
Yeah. I did return the phone call when I was able to return the phone call. Just,
And then Lester was calling the house multiple times. And so then I had the people who were watching the house, I had them turn around and they gave him both Todd's number and Jesse's number. And he got a hold of Jesse. And Jesse went over, looked at it first, and then gave a permit out for it.
I don't know how the rest of the board feels. My opinion would be not to add on another fire warden, deputy fire warden at this time, but I think that now that we've experienced this, my attitude as far as, having somebody you could call to take over, I don't know, what you feel, Steve?
My feeling is if there are people that certainly know the requirements and so forth, and these two folks are away, that it would be appropriate to have that third or fourth person, for that matter, because people are called out of the area
Yeah.
on occasion. I do think it's very important that whoever gets sub-assigned to this is familiar with the requirements.
So probably
So
they
that
should
it
be a
can
deputy.
Very clear,
warden, right?
so that it's very clear to not only the people issuing the authorization, but also the people with the match, to know what is allowed and what isn't. One of my big concerns with burn permits is I've seen some evidence that there have been things burned that probably shouldn't have been. And, my understanding is that one only should be burning
Vegetation and,
right, but
wood-
plastics,
no plastics.
building materials, that kind of thing
No.
is probably not one of the things that should be thrown on a burn pile.
No.
And, because, we all breathe the air.
And we did
I have no
that.
problem with it, with even like a fourth level person if the other three are out.
I
But
just-
just to make sure that they're knowledgeable and
Yeah.
that they're authorized.
Yeah, what my concern is that somebody is reachable. So when somebody can't reach one, and go down the line, you have somebody
Sure,
that's,
yeah.
one person's gonna, be
Exactly,
available.
right.
I know that was my big concern before, was that they,
Mhm.
people couldn't get in contact with people.
Right.
So, Josh?
I think how JJ handled it is fine. I'm in agreement with you. I don't really think we need a third warden if he has the ability through his position to just say, okay.
Thank you again, Linda.
You're assigned for the week because I'm on vacation to be my backup, then let's leave it alone like that and not convolute the situation.
Emily?
Why don't you wanna add a third person?
I mean, there's no reason, but I think that, this, I can't remember anymore, I'm getting old.
Okay, well, I'm just wondering, I don't
No,
know if you have
I know
some
there's
information that I
a
don't have, so-
reason why, I think Jim Esden, I can't remember what he told me one time. But, if JJ, being our fire warden, would know if it's okay, if Esden, thought it was not okay to have a third and fourth fire deputy, JJ would know, and apparently there is no problem with
We've
that,
had that,
correct?
I've talked with Jim in the past few months about it.
Okay.
So,
Well, I know we weren't gonna put a third one in there because that person, never returns calls, so that person's out totally. And I don't know if that was because of that, or that may have been, I don't know. Sandy, you have anything?
If JJ wants a third person, I'm all for it.
A call person or a third
A
deputy?
third deputy,
What do you,
second deputy.
the third deputy, even though I can turn around and I can delegate out that authority, it's a little rougher, because even though I delegate it, people are still not gonna think that they're able to do anything.
I know, but
So-
you're gonna pick somebody, okay, I'm not in the area, so let's let the chairman of the board know that now it's so-and-so's taken my place, or if Todd can't answer it, then so-and-so and so, I've called so-and-so and so, I have the numbers, so when they call me, I can, without doing the third fire warden, if that's the case. I mean, I don't know, it's up to the board, not just me.
I just don't see a reason why we can't have a third deputy, and
I'll make a motion that we allow a second.
No, third. You have a second one, you have a deputy?
No, he's a deputy, we have one deputy, right?
Yeah, okay, I see
A
what you're
second
saying.
deputy fire warden.
second.
Any more discussion on that?
I support that.
Okay. All right, motion's been made and seconded for the select board to appoint another, second deputy warden. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, now the discussion would be, who?
He actually, and I'll put it out, Jesse's here. Jesse has been interested in the fire warden's position ever since, the last couple of years now. He was interested in when Ray passed away. And then Todd was moved into place. Jesse's still very interested in it. He's very vast knowledge with what is going on around here. He's involved with some of us been out of state dealing with forest stuff. That is who I would recommend at this point. The state is gonna be looking for somebody who has fire service background. They're not gonna be looking for anybody who doesn't have that. And Jesse's job is, even though he is out of town sometimes, Todd and I know that. He kinda lets us know here and there.
Is he the only one that is interested in this? I mean,
Fire
is
is-
there any other firemen that may be? I mean, I'm not trying to take it away from you, Jesse, I'm just saying, before we make a decision and put Jesse in here, and then tomorrow, we get a phone call saying, wait a minute, you didn't ask the rest of us.
I haven't asked anybody.
Okay.
I mean, if that's what the board wants, I mean, we can do it that way.
Well, I'm not saying that, I'm just.
Right. I know some of the individuals who, I mean, they're busy a lot within the department. I mean,
Okay.
so,
That will take a while because you will have to write a letter to Jim Esden or an email stating that we are going to put in a second deputy. I will forward you his email, and then he will contact,
You'll contact me.
yeah, JJ, and JJ will give him the information, you'll give him the information first, and then he gets ahold of JJ, and then that gets going that way.
Yeah, it'll take 3 months or so.
Yeah,
It's more the, up at that end than anything else, of trying to get it through to the director up there to get it signed off and stuff, because they only do it so many
Yes.
times.
It'll come back where Jesse will have to sign it, and then, Jesse will have to
Jesse
sign it.
signs it, I
then
sign
he's-
it, and it comes to the
He
board.
sends it to them, it comes to the board, then we send it back, then Esden takes it to the, state
Yep.
person. So that takes a while, but, you know, we can push them. Anyway, what's the board's pleasure?
I move that we authorize the appointment of Jesse, I'm sorry.
Jobin.
Jobin, my apologies. Every time I look at you, I think Andy.
Thanks.
Anyways, Jesse Jobin as a second deputy warden.
Second?
All right, any more discussion on that? All right, motion's been made and seconded to appoint Jesse Jobin as a second fire warden. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Oh, the ayes have it. The ayes had the other one too, by the way. So congratulations,
Thanks.
and I will need your phone number before you leave tonight.
Should be on your speed dial.
Yeah, it isn't. Maybe as rescue. 911?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Can I get your email?
Are the phone numbers listed on the, like, the answering machine of the fire department?
They're not, they're listed upstairs.
It might be a good idea to add that, cause I know in the many years ago or whatever, you know, I would call the fire department, cause I didn't know where to look, you know, for them. So I'd call the fire department to see if, you know, so it might not be a bad idea.
I'll get that done Wednesday.
Yeah, I think that is a good idea. And, yeah, all right, so there you have it. Is there anything else? No?
Not this one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, and welcome, Jesse. All right, we moved along so fast, we went past, we had so many people here, we needed, to get taken care of first, so we pushed the open public comments down a little bit. Is there any open public comments? Wow, I'm gonna rush right along on that one. All right, I think that we have, in here, oh, that's tomorrow's, isn't it? Yeah, I'll put that over there. I'm not sure if we do.
I didn't see it, but.
Yeah, we'll have to wait for Michelle because she has that information. Because she found a cheaper laptop for the, town clerk's office.
We couldn't make anything work with what we had.
No, she'll tell you the other one. And it's too bad, huh?
And just do the minutes then.
Yeah. We're gonna move a little bit forward and, do the minutes.
Do you want them separately or altogether?
Separately, please.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the minutes of the special meeting of Monday, September 26th, as presented.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. That's as written.
I have a small but big spelling on the minutes for September 19th. On the very last page, the second to last motion, the proclamation for Melanie.
Oh,
Yeah, I knew I didn't
Okay,
spell it right.
all right.
now
That was
Melanie,
the only thing I saw. So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting on September 19th as corrected.
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Sandy?
Okay. I'll entertain a motion on September 20th special budget meeting.
Pardon me?
September 20th.
20th, yes. That was the one I presented.
You did 26. You did
We
26.
did the 26th? Why did I do them out of
I
order?
don't know.
They
what you
were in
did.
the packet.
You should have
In
said
reverse.
something to
It's
me.
all good.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Make a motion that we accept the minutes from September 20th special budget meeting as written.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Abstain.
Okay. The ayes have it, one extension.
Excuse me.
I think we have to tell her to come back to work.
We can do the bills and
We'll
warrants.
keep going with the bills and warrants. Go ahead.
I got the warrants.
Yep.
Okay, Madam Chair,
Yes.
I have, I move the following warrants be approved and paid as presented. The first warrant in accounts payable 7T in the amount of $1,590,267.70. And then week number 38 payroll in the amount of $8,799.30. And week 39 payroll, $11,004.78.
Second.
Motion's been made and accepted, motion's been seconded to sign and authorize payment of the following warrants. 7T, accounts payable in the amount of $1,590,267.70. Number 38 payroll, $8,799.30. Number 39 payroll, $11,004.78. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Yeah,
I was just going to insert a comment,
okay.
well, just for the record.
Okay, go ahead.
Because, 7T is rather large this time. For the record, I just wanted to note that it's largely due to the school, both the BUHS budget, or budgeted payment, and then the Vernon Elementary School budgeted payment.
Okay, thank you very much. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. And she's still talking. I gotta pick on her, it's fine, fine. I'm just playing with her. Just, yeah. And, well, we gotta move on because we need her there. We'll just, here she comes. All right, so let's go back to the town clerk laptop, because Michelle has the information for us. Oh, no, you're okay.
I just had to say that Tim
I
found
have to
some
deduct it
laptops
though,
that
excuse me, how long were you out there? No.
town business. Tim has found laptops in the range of $250 to $350 that will serve his purposes, that will run what he needs to run for the checklists.
Wonderful.
Madam Chair, I move that we authorize.
Please, thank you. Any second?
Second.
All right,
Seconded.
any more discussion?
Can we pick up Wi-Fi down here to actually utilize it?
Yes, the library Wi-Fi, you can get,
You can get
not
down here.
maybe from this room, but you can.
Over there, okay.
All right, all those, motion's been made and seconded to allow, Tim to purchase that, laptop for his, whatever. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
You did get that motion, right? Cause all I heard was blah, 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 blah. The ayes have it.
What I heard was 250 to 350.
Yeah.
And boy, that hurt me right now.
No, I mean, I was talking about the motion,
Oh.
the money I heard, yeah. Okay, RFP responses for the auditors. We do have that in our packets. Yep. I'll find it yet. I'm like all over the place tonight, for some reason. There it is.
I tried to put a couple of little notes, if you would like me to call on any references, they've all provided references. If we can narrow it down to a few, I'd be more than happy to dive into a lot of research. Just so everybody knows, our current provider is Sullivan Powers and Company.
And they are, if you don't notice, please, they are the most expensive one.
Yes, I know.
But there's one in Buxton, Maine. He does do extensive work with the towns in Vermont and other entities. That's $12,590. The other one from Portland, Maine is only $12,000. But there was something.
There was a couple of Vermont towns
Yeah.
that they had worked with, not a whole lot of them. If you wanna find out more information on their past clients, I can, but most of the other RFPs kind of or responses kind of included their list of past clients. They were very heavy Maine, maybe trying to move into the area, so.
What's the pleasure of the board? How about we pick the bottom three, or three, and have her
I would like to have her check the references.
on all of them?
On all of them?
Well, we don't have to, Sullivan Powers, we have,
The
I mean, we
others.
know their work.
And I know the top two, and the third one pretty much, but I know nothing about the others.
Well, the other
Yeah.
thing, Madam Chair, that concerns me is that these lower figures are what, like 50%? No, my math isn't good.
Well, almost.
Well, you know,
It's
a
starting
big
close to
chunk of
50%.
change, a big
Yeah.
significant difference, and that sort of puzzles me, because hopefully they're all bidding on the same
Yeah, well,
entity,
you
right?
know, yeah,
I'd just like to hear what the other towns that they've dealt with, what their, some input from them before. I agree.
so all of them, okay, except for Sullivan Powers. Now, I know Mudgett was one that we had liked before. They're not down by much, but I do know that we did have them, we did check their references of 3 years ago, as a matter of fact, right? And they were very good, they were right up there with Sullivan
Well,
Powers.
if these lower numbers come in as being genuine, there could be a substantial savings.
Yeah,
for the town.
I tell you, I know on one of them, and I'm not sure if it's the one from Buxton, Maine, there was a reason why I know why, never mind. Because they had only put in for 1 year, we threw them right out, that was the
So
only
you
reason
do
why.
have
Oh,
the-
in the past, you mean?
The
Yeah.
whole complete things with me, if anybody wants to peruse them before you leave,
No.
but I'll be more than happy.
Yes,
to
yeah,
put them on
and it was too much for her to copy them and give us all
Of
their
course,
stuff.
I would.
Just ready to stack.
Yeah, but, yeah, all right, so then why don't we do that, have
Okay.
her, and we'll put it on the agenda for next time?
Yes.
Okay, all right? Yep, thank you, Michelle. We just keep you working, don't we?
That's what I'm here for.
All right. Okay, Brattleboro landfill solar project, that's in our thing too. somewhere.
We need to decide by November 1st, right?
Yes,
We still in new departments for.
We're on old business now. We just finished new business, now we're on old business.
Oh,
no, we're in old business, the landfill, we just went perusing through this thing tonight.
I was hoping
I mean-
that Bob would be here to talk about.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, so that's why I kinda wanna get going.
Well, we're really early, he may still show up, maybe we could put off the landfill until, I mean, the agenda says we're not discussing this till 7:40, so maybe we could put off the landfill in the hopes that Bob
Spencer?
Yes, was he?
Did he say he was coming?
Yeah, give an
He did.
indication.
All right, then we'll wait for him.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys can go to the
really
dog
like
or.
it.
Yeah, 'cause we
There's
can,
people
we
coming
can,
for
we
it.
can,
Yeah, we are really early.
we can also, you know, take a short recess in a little bit too, if we need to. We get through the whole meeting already. Do we wanna go jump over the capital plan?
Yeah,
Is,
there's people coming for that.
there is, okay, thank you very much. The dog ordinance. Now, did you get that email that I sent of Annette's? What was, I couldn't figure what that was she was trying to say with the, Cali?
That was an instant where it was a dog with repeated bites and the owner decided to surrender the dog.
Mhm.
But there was no ordinance that required the owner to warn the shelter that the dog had a biting history. So we have nothing in our ordinance that addresses that. So if somebody's dog bites somebody 4 times and we threaten to go get the dog, or the police threaten to go get the dog, and they bring the dog to a shelter and drop it off, that's perfectly okay, and then the shelter's unaware that the dog has had a history of violence.
Oh, I thought that's what ours said, though, except under the care of the license. No, I guess,
That's
no,
more
it
of a-
doesn't say that they have to, tell the veterinarian. It just says it shall be unlawful for an owner or person harboring any domestic pet when notified that such pet has bitten any person to sell or give away such pet or permit it to be taken beyond the limits of the town except under the care of a licensed veterinarian. Doesn't say anything about telling anybody, telling the vet. And I couldn't find it anywhere else, that's the only place it mentions that dog to, you know, that has bitten multiple times.
Yeah, that's a whole different area from what we were talking about, the leash law earlier.
Yeah.
Now we are getting into a whole.
Well, that's something we can add as well, is it not, like an,
If we're gonna get into doing on that, or if that's what the select board decides to do, I would suggest, revamping the whole thing, just scrapping the old one, because rules and laws have changed in the state of Vermont, and there's a fairly new 2014 model ordinance that has come out that would be all-inclusive to both those issues and others, and we also, I mean,
well,
there's,
how about we not do that right now? Because what I'm thinking, we need an ordinance while we're trying to revamp a new one. So I think that we need this one.
but we have this in place.
Yeah, this one needs to stay in place, don't just ban it.
No, you wouldn't stand it until you had the new one.
Right, and we add the leash law in there, and then go through the revamping of it, and, cause we have to bring this to the town, and,
But we have to bring anything that we do to the town, and we have to publish it in the newspaper, which means
Yeah.
that's an expense. So if we're going to revamp it, it would seem,
no, we're adding a thing to it that we can lawfully do that.
and that doesn't have to be published in the paper? We don't
Yes,
have-
it does, oh, yes, it
So if we're
does,
gonna have to publish something in the paper, which,
Let's not do it twice.
yeah, okay, I get you, I
That's-
get what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, I think doing it once and completely is better than here, there, and everywhere.
All right,
Although
but
I
you
would
do,
appreciate the revenue, let's not do it twice.
The revenue.
what revenue, oh. The thing is that, you do know this has to go to the town, in an article, and,
it doesn't have to be.
and actually, it isn't an article, it's a public hearing, and all
Right.
that, yeah, okay. All right, let's do it then,
Yeah,
That's just my opinion.
okay. No, that's the opinion of the board, yes?
Yes.
We don't need a vote, we just need a consensus,
That we're gonna go ahead and pull up a new, fresh,
We will work on
Complete.
one, yeah.
we'll work on that.
right, well, if there's a model one already, that's a
Just
good
fill in
place
the
to
blanks.
start.
That's a good place to start.
and I can pull
Save
the
us a
one
lot
from
of
Collins.
legwork.
And that is.
Is it Cali or Cali, I don't know.
Callous, callous.
I don't know how to spell it, but I don't know how it's pronounced.
We could say Calais,
Calais?
C-L-A-I-S.
Calais.
C-L-A-I-S.
C-A-L-A-I-S.
I'll make sure to
C-A-L-A-I-S.
pull that up, because I don't even know if the model one
They
has
call
the
that Cali?
Callous.
Bite warning.
It's Calais.
Yes.
In it, so I'll check.
All right. Okay, moving right along, public participation on any agenda item.
Shall we wait for that until after we've dealt with all the agenda items?
Yeah, keep done with it.
I know, but
Yeah, ideally, that's supposed to be.
Oh, then why don't we, just pass that and go to the administrative
Mine's pretty short too.
Could you have a long one tonight?
I know, I always have a long one. And it's easier, yeah.
Can't we just move
Um,
We
along?
got out of here by 7:30, that's phenomenal.
I know,
You don't want a nice honey crisp
The
apple?
only thing I really had to bring up was, that, a suggestion that there is, a backup set of keys and, or access to keys. Right now, the only backup access to keys Kevin has, cause Kevin has all the keys everywhere. And the only backup to access to those keys is Matt, who is the part-time fill-in, which, is fine, except we ran into a case on Friday or Thursday where we had to lower the flags to half-mast. Technically, Matt could have billed us for 2 hours for coming in here to lower the flags because the key to the flagpole was in Kevin's office.
There used to be a complete set in the town clerk's office in the envelope.
Was there?
Yes,
See, nobody
there
knows
was.
where that is. So that's what I mean, just say, to have some redundancy in town in case something happens.
Oh, I agree.
That either myself or the select board chair should have, access to the keys.
Yeah.
To the everything.
But the thing is that if Tim wasn't here and the vault wasn't open, then we still have the problem. I say we have it put in her office, you know, have a big board and it's in her office. Nobody's going in there, you know,
Well, we could put in a locked.
Yeah, and then you can have the key.
have a lock case, and, yep.
um,
And then I could have an extra key, the chairman, you know, whoever it may be. Yeah,
Just somebody.
Yep.
You know, just if something happens.
and also, go ahead and make a motion if you're going to, unless there's more discussion on that.
I move that we have an extra set of keys for the town office building and flagpoles in a locked cabinet in the town administrator's office, with an extra key being given to the board chair.
second.
Did you hear that?
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to have all the keys duplicated and given, so that there'll be an extra set in Michelle's office in a locked cabinet. And the key to an extra key to that cabinet given to the board chair. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Also, Michelle has also asked for a key to the door down here by the police station. I would entertain a motion if it's okay with the board. to
So
have-
moved.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. The motion's been made and seconded to, give, Michelle a key to that door down there, by the police station, downstairs door, whatever. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All, I guess the ayes have it.
Keys. I'm gonna have the keys in my purse. And the last thing that I have is just
Better
to
not
let you
be
know-
out anywhere, so take the whole bustle.
My keys. Is that I will be out of the office on Thursday for the VLCT Town Fair, and I'm going, and he's gonna go on Wednesday night, we're sharing, so there's no overnight, there's just late night and early morning driving.
They were gonna stay overnight.
I'm personally gonna go up after tomorrow night, but
Oh.
that's not the town's expense.
No, I know,
No.
I know
Right.
that. I didn't know if you were, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave.
That's why I'm not doing it. I'm too old for
Why it
that.
has to be
I
up,
was
way up
thinking about
there
it
in the
too.
northern part of the state, I don't know, so anyway, go ahead.
And that's all I have for,
Okay.
it's, nothing.
All right, well, we have, is anybody else coming from the capital plan? We have Mr. Rappaport.
Nope, I would think that's it, unless anybody heard from Linda.
Well, all I have is a resignation that I would like to, speak to the board about in, because it is a personnel matter, in executive session, if I could have one.
Madam Chair,
Can we do that? I mean, is it a personnel matter?
Well, but will it fall under capital plan committee discussion? Cause we didn't add a personnel discussion on the agenda.
I thought that's what it was gonna be discussed.
Yeah.
I thought we were, is that what they were on the
Right.
Yes.
agenda for?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
and,
All right.
but
I didn't know if we
include
were actually
Mr.
discussing the
Rappaport,
plan.
please, and our, administrator.
Okay, Madam Chair, I move that we go into executive session with Mr. Rappaport and our administrator on the appointment or employment or evaluation of a public officer or employee.
Yep.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Also, it could also be number 3, disciplinary dismissal action.
Yeah.
Number 3.
You're gonna have to read that, number 3.
I do.
No, her.
Oh.
You're gonna have to include that.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, my words are, I gotta choose my words tonight. So, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to ask you to, step out for a few minutes. Is there a chair out there for you,
We need
Barbara?
to vote.
Made and seconded to go into executive session, with our administrator and Tom Rappaport. And, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. I'll choose that. The board met in executive session at what time? Did we go in?
7:10?
7:10, it was that long?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was.
Okay, we came out at 8:47, no action was taken.
7:47, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Steve. 7:47, I thought, gee, that's a long time. No action was taken. Steve, you have a motion to make?
Madam Chair, I move that we, in consideration of the Capital Plan Committee composition, remove Nancy Gassett as a member of the Capital Plan Committee and refuse the resignation of Linda Staropinski from the Capital Plan Committee.
Second.
Any more discussion? All right, motion's been made and seconded to remove Nancy Gassett from the Capital Plan Committee and refuse the resignation of Linda Staropinski. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Nay.
The ayes have it. Sandy?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
since policy, for clarification, since policy Gen 13, policy governing purchases of capital items, which was adopted on September 20th, 2001, has been superseded by subsequent adoption, action taken at an annual town meeting, I move that we remove said policy Gen 13 from our policies effective immediately.
Second.
Any discussion on that one? Motion's been made and seconded, and I'm not reading all that, to remove. Is
Policy
it-
Gen 13.
Yeah, policy Gen 13. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it.
Who seconded that?
I did.
Josh. Okay, Brattleboro, we're gonna go back to Brattleboro landfill. Bob, can you come up? We're gonna go back to the landfill, solar project.
Well, I was not here for the meeting.
Yeah.
You had, was it 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, yep.
And I am not an expert on the contract that would be between a town such as Vernon and the solar developer, which is Sky Solar, being represented by
Yeah, Sky
Encore
Solar.
Renewable.
I couldn't remember the name thing.
But Jesse Stoll, who was here that night, is available on his phone now if we had specific questions. And I could try to answer some questions if you have them, but He will be in Halifax tomorrow night meeting with their select board. Similar to Vernon, the Halifax town offices, well, they're in the school, so there's a joint energy bill there and meters. Our schools are separate, so Mike Hebert is talking through the school
okay.
district directly with Jesse, representing the school, so. Each town's different, has different energy loads, different number of buildings, and so I don't know where you're at with looking at signing into it's a 20-year agreement to get the solar energy credits on your electric bills.
You know, we probably asked before, and I don't remember, is there a buy-in cost?
There are no upfront costs.
No.
It would take effect when the solar system starts generating electricity, which is now projected to be a year from now, or maybe sooner.
So that's where it would
It literally, once the electrons
Yep,
start flowing,
okay.
it goes, the meter starts spinning, and these credits are applied to each participating municipal member. It's group net metering, so they're a member of the group.
Yep. Sandy, do you have anything? Emily?
I did, I thought of it after we were done talking with Jesse. So they factored in us at 80% of our usage, if I understand this correctly?
Yes.
Why not 100?
Okay, an 80 is just a recommendation. A town could choose 100, a town could choose 50. They're using 80 because once you commit to a certain amount of, a share of the total output, you're obligated to that. So if, for instance, Vernon were to close the elementary school, or excuse me, you don't have the school, if you were to do some major energy savings, or put your own solar panels or something, you'd have, it wouldn't be, you wouldn't be penalized for it. So that,
Oh, right, okay, that's right, cause it's, you get the credit on the energy bill, but then you pay.
right, so you would be
Sky
getting
Solar
more
on
credits
board,
than
whatever.
you had energy consumption.
Right, okay.
So it's a
Thank you.
safety
Yep,
factor,
thank
so
you.
towns.
Okay.
Now, what you can do, and I did look into this, cause Michelle and I talked, is that you would be responsible for transferring those, so if you did get in a situation where you didn't need them, they can be transferred to another party.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's probably possible to do that, but who knows, that's 10 years, 15 years
Right.
away.
Yeah.
So 80% is sort of a safe.
Yep. Go ahead, Steve.
I think one of the things I recall from our discussion last time on this was that we were going to have at least a cursory look of the contract by legal counsel.
Yes, did we do that?
I think they're still working on it
Yeah, he
to
hasn't.
go through
I don't
legal,
think
and they
he's-
were gonna send
Yeah,
me.
they
Oh, no, they have,
They
it's,
have it.
it's in the form that you're ready to review
Is
it.
it all done? Because they
I
were
thought he
gonna
said
send
last
me a
time
copy
he
when
did
it was
that.
done.
Oh, all right, I'll
and
check
they
on
haven't
that.
sent me
Yeah, and we
anything
have
for
to
that.
have this done before the 1st of November. Oh, we still got plenty of time, go ahead.
Well,
End of November, I think.
But we've got-
End of November.
I believe they're
We've
thinking
got
that.
some time. The other aspect of this that we need to be, as a select board, aware and on top of the fact that this may sound like a good price now, but down the road, we need to
I
make
agree
sure our
with you
options
there.
are not so locked in that we miss an opportunity for even cheaper power down the road, whatever that might be. So that's my concern as a.
Yeah, that's
I
kind
agree
of
with
the,
you.
that's
Yep.
kind of the gamble on it, is you don't know what's coming
You
down the
don't,
road.
that's
So
true, right.
You take what's good now,
Mhm.
it is a 20-year commitment.
Mhm.
Or, if we had some kind of major plan as a town to put a solar array in, the
Yeah.
school's baseball field or something, and to utilize for the town, this probably wouldn't make sense to be involved with. But we don't have that plan, we don't really plan to spend the capital on a project like this. We don't know what's coming down the road, so this is kind of what seems to me to be the best option for us as a town in the situation that we're in. But there again, like Steve said, it does
Well,
lock you in.
along those lines then, what I would suggest is maybe not going 100%, maybe going 80 or 50. and leaving some of that future option open for other possibilities. You mentioned the school. There's a large surface area there on the school
There certainly
for
is, it's open
those.
too,
Probably
so,
more electricity than the school would use. And perhaps that is something the town might down the road be interested in. The other thing that we've got to be aware of is that there are technologies we're already committed to as a town, looking into the possibility of some large generator. And we might exchange some of that generated power from a large generator for maybe some considerations in taxes down the road or something. We would, if we commit to more than 50 or 80%, we, on this project, we would kind of shut that option off, you know. I'm assuming that as time goes along, the town of Vernon will always be trying to economize on its electricity usage. You know, for instance, sitting under these lights right here, it may seem very bright, but you can probably get LEDs to produce what these are for, you know, far less energy than these are using. I know I've switched to some LEDs in my house. It's been absolutely amazing, the
Really?
amount of light they throw out. Oh,
Yeah,
for
I
7
think they
watts,
suck.
I've got the whole entryway to my
I do.
barn lit up. What? Well,
I
anyway.
do a lot of, you know, needlework,
I
and
know,
so I
and
can't
Chris
see, I
said
gotta
they're-
have bright,
they're
bright
So you
light.
brilliant.
get a brighter one. They work just like incandescent,
Yeah,
you
they
choose
do.
They
the
do?
wattage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they put right on the
Yeah.
light bulbs themselves. I mean, they put the actual wattage that they use, but
Oh,
they
they do.
they show the wattage equivalent
Right.
too.
And I must have an old one, cause mine are yellow, shines off yellow.
Well, and you can get the
Any
soft
color
white
you
versus
want,
real,
yeah.
but anyway.
Yeah.
So I know that with this, you know, they're kind of pushing whatever for us to sign for this year. Can we lock in later?
No.
No.
This will be, first of all, I'm, just want you to know,
Right.
as the director of the solid waste, I'm not advocating that the town
Right.
do this. It's really up to an individual town. They will sign up all the 5 megawatts. The Brattleboro Housing Authority is interested, the others, and it can go outside of Windham County, it can go to, and it can go to private companies too, so,
Has other towns signed on that you know of?
there's quite a few that are considering it, they haven't signed it.
Considering.
It just, really, this was the first meeting that they went to
Okay.
was,
Yeah, but
Vernon.
we have such, I mean, it seems like we have time enough, but it's short time to
It
make
is.
a decision. I mean, you know, they're here, well, you only got 2 months to make your decision. Now, hurry up and make your decision.
Yeah.
So that, I don't
But
like to be pushed like
Once,
that.
as Emily was asking, I think once they sign up this 5 megawatts of total production, that'll be it, unless it's transferred by another municipality. Now, what I wanted to say is that Brattleboro's attorney, Bob Fisher, has reviewed this agreement. And Fisher, I guess the law firm represents quite a few communities. So the thought was that if they had reviewed it and were satisfied with it for the town, that it was probably good for most towns. But you should, I would think, have your own counsel take a look at it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'll
given
make
it's a
sure.
20-year commitment, that's the
Yeah,
only thing I'm
and-
worried about.
And also, as we all know, through
That's what I.
through the planning commission, we are looking
Town.
at other energy sources in the future
Yes,
here.
exactly.
So Vernon is unique in this sense. We're an energy production community. We have been for 100 years.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be in the future. So whether or not you take 50% of this or some portion of it, it's up to the town.
Yeah.
But I wanted to respond to Josh. The deal that's being offered now is created by legislation. That legislation expires the end of this year, so, and the state has now got a new net metering law, and the deal is not nearly as good in terms of what, because the utilities are getting maxed out on their renewable energy, but that's required by the state, so it's not likely there will be a better solar deal. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, well, with the current technology of solar.
Exactly.
And
But
that's
who
the
knows?
thing that I worry, 10 years, 20 years may seem like, but I don't want to tie Vernon into something that 10 years down, they're gonna say, well, Skibby was the one that was, he was pushing that like the dickens.
Should we wait until after March when I'm not on the board anymore?
No, I just feel that 50% would certainly, would tell
At
people
least
that
leave us
we, And then it will leave us some margin to do some
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah.
Well, one of the margins, I know that we can do much better in these buildings, energy efficiency wise, absolutely we can.
Yeah, well,
That actually brings up a good, kind of a good segue. I think, you know, perhaps one of the reasons that we haven't invested in any of those energy efficiencies is because we haven't really had the money to invest in them. But if we, you know, if we lock in at 50% and our electric bill goes down, projected, you know, well, not our electric bill goes down, but if,
The
in the net.
credits offset the
Yeah,
expense.
the net
Right.
expense, you know, I mean, they're, based on the numbers that Jesse gave us, you know, in the first, again, at 80%, but savings would be almost 5,800. Well, that would give us plenty of room to invest in some
Excuse me.
of those energy efficiency
Right,
upgrades.
exactly.
So $5,800 a year saving at 80%?
That's what, yeah, that's what they
Okay.
gave us.
I
for
hadn't
the
seen
first-
those, but that's.
Yeah, they gave us a projection, the first year was just
So
shy
if
of
you just took
5,800.
half of it, or
Right, and
half
invested
of
in
it,
those.
so you'd be somewhere in the
about
four,
3,000.
$3,000 or $4,000.
Yep.
Right. So, I mean, I think one of the reasons we haven't really done that is because we haven't had the cap, especially with all the uncertainty. It's
Right,
like, well,
and-
why spend money on,
Well, the other thing too is
Your
if you look
electric
at your electric bills, the power costs are going, I mean, they're,
Right.
it's like exponential. And so, and you know, we haven't been exactly flush with funds here the last couple of years anyway, so. Prior to that, of
so
course,
yeah, I
we
mean,
were.
this would give us an
We are
opportunity,
now.
I mean, I mean, I like the idea of 50% would
I only
be-
toss that out as a
Well, no, it's
conservative
good.
number, 80%, but I don't think we should throw it all into.
No, well, they have us, I mean, the documents he gave us had us at 80%, so
Yes,
that
right.
5,800 is at 80%, but I
Exactly.
kinda like the idea of dropping it down to 50.
Yeah, I do too.
Because, you know, while it will reduce our projected annual savings,
It opens up,
it
allows us
yeah, I
that
mean,
little
you
bit
know,
of space.
it's a gamble, you know, it's just like with our fuel
It is,
prices
it is.
at home, you know, it's a gamble, do you lock in or do you know, you pay the street price? And I think going at 50% is a good, you know, moderate risk.
So,
Yeah.
from the sounds of it, we need two things. We need the
Attorney.
contract that we can get to the attorney. And this nice spreadsheet that he did for us at 80%, if we could get them to throw that 50% into that same Excel spreadsheet and
Yeah.
see how it comes out. I'm sure that's a couple clicks of the mouse based on what that spreadsheet
So
looks like.
Michelle, do you wanna request that of Jesse, so it'll come from the town? I mean, I'll reinforce it.
But where can I request the contract from?
Yes, I thought it was out, but,
I haven't,
okay.
I would think
Yeah,
I
Jesse
know
would
he
have
said
it.
he
Who
would
was-
send it.
All
I
right.
don't think Jesse has it. Who is the other gentleman that was here?
Lou
the last-
Bruzo,
Does he have it?
he's the chair, no, it's all being done by Encore.
Oh, so Jesse
I
does
mean,
have it.
I have a copy
Okay.
with me, but I'm not sure, I thought it was final.
I'll
but-
start with him, I have it.
Yeah, he
I'll
knows.
start with him
I mean,
for both those
The
things.
way this is being done, the solid waste district is purely leasing the landfill space. We're not selling power, we're not doing anything, and we'll sign on for some amount of
We
electricity.
understand.
Like the town, we're concerned about overcommitting, because we may close our facility in a couple
Then
of
you'd have
years,
to
or,
find
Right,
someone to
you know,
buy
even though
it.
it uses $30,000-$40,000 a year of electricity, you may not need that in.
Yeah.
So we're also being cautious, because we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
But we will get a lease payment, the district, and that's, right now at about $100,000 a year. So that's gonna be significant revenue to the Wyndham Solid Waste District for 20 years. And then when you factor in the savings to municipal off-takers, it totals millions of dollars of savings to the region over the term of the contract.
Right.
Yeah, well,
I think you should ask for more.
More power?
No,
No,
more
more
for
money.
lease. I'm trying
Oh,
to, I'm
yeah.
trying to figure out, I mean, ours, we have 1.4% of the 5
Megawatts.
megawatts. And if I understand this correctly, well, I'm trying to figure out I don't know what NMC, you know, like, I'm just trying to, so it's either 21? No. 21 would be the bill, 15, okay, so for 1.4% of their 5 megawatts, we're gonna be paying them almost $16,000.
Over
For
the
1
20
year.
years.
No, that's 1 year.
1 year.
We're paying cause I think if I have this right, the credit, it's either 21 or 15, I'm not sure which one's which.
I don't have that with me, so.
But anyway, even if it's, even go with the lower number, 15.8, if we're paying we've only got 1.4% of the 5 megs and we're paying almost $16,000,
Well,
you should ask for more.
well, but the thing is what they'll tell you.
I'll have you negotiate
What
it.
what they'll tell you
We're gonna do
is
the math.
that maintaining a solar array like this is expensive, number one. And you also have to plan for replacements in case, heaven forbid, you have a hailstorm or whatever. And then the other thing that's going on is, although they're projecting a 20-year lifespan on these things, keep in mind that that isn't always the case.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said
He
it
is
could be
projecting
less, but
20.
he said
It
it could be a little more.
less, it could be more, but it certainly is variable.
It's 1.1 million.
Okay. So anyways, we'll continue the discussion. and,
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, no, I just
I
wanted to
really
see if I
appreciate
could,
it. This is,
keep it on
this is
track.
a big
We're very-
decision
well,
for
we're
us.
very interested.
Sure, no, it's
I
significant
wanna
money
wait
over
till
20
after
years,
March.
there's no doubt about it. All right,
Thank you, Bob.
see you later.
All right,
We'll
Bob.
talk about Wednesday.
What?
Maybe we can get together Wednesday on the municipal planning.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, see you later.
All right, yes, good night, good night. We went through that. Public participation, any items that were on the agenda? Any? Wow, you guys are so good today.
I'm sure we covered things so thoroughly.
I
that
know.
we didn't have any additional.
Correspondence, media have anything? Ian? No? Okay, thank you, wave to me. Upcoming meeting schedule, our special meeting is tomorrow night, October 4th, and we are meeting at 6:30. I did put that over there, and then I keep playing with the stupid thing, so I keep losing them, but it is 6:30. All right, and then our next regular meeting is, Monday, October 17th
Yes.
at 6:30. If I hear of nothing else to be brought before the board,
I couldn't imagine what that was. I thought it was
I will
my
entertain a
pacemaker.
motion to, adjourn.
So move.
Second. All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
We're done.